I want to get you to think about not just the words you use to define your purpose, but the words you use to define your projects and what those imply. I'm not picking on anybody, but over on that table there was a word triage on a card over there. You know, triage is a very medical model for education that suggests that our students are ill and that it's our job to heal them. And so I would ask you to do that level of thinking about what you call things and how you operate with language. I would ask you to think about the metaphors you use to describe your work, your interaction with one another. You know, a lot of us talk about, you know, going into battle, you know, leaving it on the field, you know. Well, you know, that kind of language informs people about how you feel about the work you're doing, and you know, how you're framing it is critical.
So what did you use instead of basic skills?
We use the term foundation.
Yeah.
So we talk about foundation skills. And the reason we use the term foundation is because we feel like that implies that you're building on something, as opposed to deficit language that's implied by remediation. And you know, the medical model is the medical language is fraught in a lot of developmental, you know, I think it's your writing center that uses prescriptions.
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah.
It's a diagnosis. Our students
Yeah.
get 85 diagnoses.
Yeah. So prescriptions have that same kind of overtone. You know, as I said, not to pick on anybody, it's a very, you know, common situation. But at the same time, what is it you're saying?
Well,
You know, when you say that.
what you're saying is you are sick and I can fix you.
That's right.
And neither of those is true.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Really annoying.
Well, you know, I would also ask you to think about penitentiary language that sort of permeates a lot of education too, where, you know, people set up, you know, labs for people to do their time. You know, maybe not so much. You know, and when students say that, they're telling you something important about how they think about what you're asking them to do, right? That they're trapped, right? So again, I think there's a whole world about leadership that goes along with language that I would submit that you need to be very conscientious about and thoughtful about.
Rose has a whole riff on medical terminology with.
Yes, that's right.
If you want it, we can pull that out.
Yeah. But you know, even the definitions that you use for, you know, like I said, thinking about your own work life, you know, is often a lot of battle metaphors, a lot of sports metaphors that are kind of, you know, sometimes people talk about feeling under siege, you know, and all of that. So give that some thought, because I think it powerfully communicates sometimes in ways that you might not want it to.